Hello everyone and good day. Welcome to what is in my camera bag coming into 2023. So hello everyone, welcome. I know this is such a classic and cliche video, but I thought I would show you what I'm going to be using going into the new year, into 2023. So yeah, my largest camera bag is an Ultimax camera bag that I bought on Amazon. It has tons of super great features, tons of extra pockets and good straps for support. It also has so much space. I only use this bag if I'm going on an actual vacation or like a week-long camping trip where I need all of my gear. Because I mean, look at it. The thing's massive. Alright, moving on to my next bag. This is probably the bag I use the most. It's a National Geographic Explorer. It's a super awesome sling bag. I usually just use it for daily shoots. This bag personally has never let me down. One of my favorite features with this bag as well is the fact that since it's on a sling and it loads from the side, you can swing it in front of you and open up the main pocket just like this to easily access all your gear, pull out lenses. You can even use it as a table to switch lenses. So that's why I use this for most of my shoots. The last and final setup I use, which I would use say if we were going on a day hike, is this Ultimax sling bag that came with the larger bag. But then what I do with it is I slide it in this top loading backpack. So I can easily just pull out the cube and get everything I need while also having extra space for things like food or clothes or whatever I might need for the day. Alright guys, that's it for bags. I wanted to get those out of the way as quickly as possible so that I could talk about some of the real gear. We'll start off with the smallest, I suppose, which is my action camera. Now this is just a Safari 1080p action camera. I'm gonna be honest, I would not recommend this and it really kind of sucks, but it was only 40 bucks and I have been able to get some really good shots and different perspectives with it. However, it's super unreliable and the battery is like total shit. So I actually would not recommend that unless you're like really in a pinch. Now, as far as my main camera goes, for everything, both video and photo, I rock the Canon SL2. It's never let me down. I would highly recommend it. I would consider it to be a entry-level camera for if you're doing both photo and video because it's pretty good at both of them, but it doesn't have any of the crazy specs that you would need if you're professional. I got it on sale with a kit lens for about $8.50 Canadian on Amazon. I'm sure if you were to get one secondhand, you could probably swing it for $5.50 or $600 these days, considering the SL3 is out now. My backup camera as well is a classic T6. Unfortunately, as many of you may know, it has been broken for some time, but I'm hoping someday to get it fixed, and then this can be kind of just more so my throw around camera. You know, if I want to get a crazy angle for a shot, I'll just use the T6 instead of my more expensive one. Now guys, we're getting into lenses. This is where it gets fun. So, I only own 4 different lenses. First one, 50mm f1.8. Come on, if you don't own this, if you are a photographer and you do not own this lens, what are you doing? It's so cheap and it's so effective, and come on, it stops down to 1.8 and it costs under $200. It's completely unreal. Here's some shots I've got with it before. It's one of my favorite lenses, definitely. Moving on to my next lens. This is the 18-55. The reason I use this one though over this one is because this is the most recent version and it has internal autofocus, which means it's not making a bunch of noise and whatnot while I'm trying to shoot video and the video is not picking that up because it's not there. You know, it is the most basic lens in the world, but you know, it's got image stabilization and the focal length is pretty good, especially on a crop sensor. And here's some shots I've been able to get with that. Moving on to my beauty, my favorite, the 75-300 from Canon. This lens has got me some of my best photos of all time. It is so clutch, and for the focal length, it's actually very light and compact. It's just an overall beautiful lens. The only thing I have on it for anyone using this, don't even bother using it below f8 because your images will not be crisp.
they won't look that good. They'll be kind of blurry, kind of bad quality. But if you stop it up to f8, you can get some crazy detail with this. The only thing is it's garbage in low light, right? Because you gotta go up to f8. But totally worth getting. It's like 150 bucks, right? And you get 75 to 300 millimeters of focal length. It's unreal. This is the third version. Would highly recommend. And here's some shots I was able to get with that. Alright guys, moving on to the less fun stuff. For editing, I use a 2018 MacBook Air. Super fun, super nice, and I use Final Cut Pro. And then for all of my photos, since the SL2 has Lightroom, I literally just send them to my phone and then edit them on Lightroom Mobile. I don't even have the premium version. I literally just use the free version. And I find that works fine because I don't like to over edit my photos anyway. Next thing for audio, which by the way, this is probably horrendous because since I wanted to have my camera in the vid, I decided to film this on my phone again, plus file sizes, right? But if I am filming on my camera, I just use this, the Rode Video Micro, kind of a classic mic. Does up your audio quality a fair bit, and also, I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of cool. I like it. Next thing I got here is this JJC memory card case. I think it's very important to have a memory card case just to keep your cards safe. And this only cost me about 15 bucks on Amazon. It's waterproof and it's a hard case, super good quality for really cheap. As for my memory cards, I just use the classic SanDisk 64 gigs or 128 gigs. And I find those have never let me down before. Oh shit, I forgot a lens as well. My other 18 to 55. Yes, I have two, and yes, they're different. I'll tell you why. This other one is an older version, but it actually has macro built in. And I had no clue about this until I literally read on the side of the lens, in tiny letters, macro. And I was like, what the heck? So I just started using it for macro shots, and it's great. It saved me like $800 on buying a 100mm f2.8. So I would highly, highly recommend picking up one of those as an entry level if you want to do any sort of macro photography. And here's some shots I got with that. As for SSDs, I just use the classic SanDisk 1TB SSD. It's a bit of an investment, but it's definitely worth it if you're making videos. So yeah guys, I wanted to bang this video out as fast as possible for you, and that's it. That's all the gear. I used all this to film the SummerVid 2022, and I'm going to use all of it coming into 2023. I know this was super quick to cover all of my gear, so if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. See you later.